Hey everyone. So we are going to give it a minute or two here as usual to hopefully get some people in the YouTube side here. I do have the live stream right in front of me as well as YouTube off to the right just because I could see the comments a little sooner on that side. So if you see me glancing over this way, that's why. Um, Yep, but we're just gonna give it a minute or two here to send some notifications out that I am live because I know once again, my bad, I didn't give many people a heads up on this. Just a couple hours ago I posted it, but we'll discuss that a little bit more here. So, Rocky, would you like to come say hi to the camera? Rocky, come say hi to the camera while we're waiting for people to come in. Come here. Up, up. Oh, that a boy. That a boy. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? You gotta show off for the camera a little bit. Oh, you getting down? Okay. Yeah, we'll just give it our 30 seconds, minute here. Um, Again, I know this is kind of spontaneous. Didn't give people much of a heads up, so we'll just give it another minute or so. See if some more people come in, and then we'll just dive right in. Pull up my notes here while we're waiting too. Don't want to forget anything. Okay, so just a second here. Grab a couple supplies for the live stream, so that's a little bit different. So we're just going to get started here. On tonight's live stream, we're going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to be giving some updates on what I've accomplished recently, as well as discussing my book and giving a sneak peek. I see Nate is in the house. Nice to see you, Nate. Let me try this out here. There we go. Still got it. Little rusty, little slow with it, but I got it. Thank you for tuning in. Um, so yeah, we're gonna give a sneak peek at the book, and depending on how many people we have, I'm gonna ask a couple questions that are also about kind of getting out of your comfort zone. Quick question though, since I see Nate's in here. How is the live stream on YouTube side? Because I do see I might have a little bad internet tonight. Seems kind of blurry on my end. I don't know if that's also on your end or not. I think there's just too many people in the building right now, but yeah, we're gonna. Looks good so far. Perfect. Thank you. So we're gonna talk about some stuff that I've accomplished recently. I'm gonna share and give a sneak peek as my book into my book, which Land Cloud Adventures. Nate has purchased a copy of my book. Thank you again, Nate, for that shout out. Play a quick game, and I'm also gonna give some updates on the whole paranormal experiences or their lack thereof that I've been experiencing since my last videos. So let's just dive right in here. A couple weeks ago, I actually ordered 100 copies of my book. I read through, and I did notice there were a couple mistakes in there. So for those who have a first edition of the book, I do apologize. One of them I noticed, I think I made the mistake twice, probably through autocorrect. Instead of, I think instead of saying it was quiet, I put quite instead of quiet. And when I first wrote this book, or when it was all said and done, what I ended up doing is I read through the book out loud 4 times, And I also had Microsoft Word read it to me 4 times. So in my mind, I thought I got every single mistake. But as I was reading through the physical copy on the way to Vegas back in November, it was much easier to see the mistakes in the physical copy. So I have fixed those mistakes, uploaded the second copy, and I purchased 100 paperback copies. My next step with that is I have officially deleted the book from Amazon. Now, time and time again, I have mentioned that it's not about the money to me. I want to be able to help people, I want to be able to inspire people. But if I am going to make a business out of this too, I do, to some extent, have to focus on the finances, especially because one day I hope to live on the road again and have this business not only support me financially, but be able to do, say, big YouTuber here, Mr. Beast. He's constantly giving out money, stuff like that. Now, I don't know quite to that scale. $1 million, I don't think I'll ever quite get to that reach. But I would love to have just an extra $10,000 to be able to go up to somebody that's homeless. Land Cloud Adventures was kind of talking about homeless and the different approaches. Do you give them food? Do you give them gas? Do you give them cash? I've always had a soft heart for that. I would love to go up to somebody and be like, here's $10,000, just run free. It's just who I am personally. But Amazon, actually, I want to say I've made $120 off of this book through Amazon. To give you an idea, I've also had some people asking about publishing a book, how they should do it, whatnot. It's not worth it through Amazon. It really isn't. I made $120, but they also took half of my profits. My profits would literally have been double if I just cut Amazon out of the picture to begin with. And they also send me emails and they'll try to promote their advertisements all the time, saying that their ads are guaranteed to get you likes on your book. And that's just really not the case. Hi, Diane. Thank you for tuning in. So, yeah, I just, from the very beginning, I wrote the book, I published the book, everything about it I did on my own. And don't get me wrong, it is an accomplishment in my mind to have been able to have it on Amazon for quite some time. But a short version too is Amazon is really not a company I no longer want to support for a couple different reasons. And some of you may know a little bit more about that. But yeah, they really aren't a company that I really enjoy doing business with, whether that's purchasing from them or selling my products through them. Again, just my personal opinion on that part due to my experiences and some different things with the overall Amazon company. So I want to just take a moment here to skip to a certain chapter in my book. Diane saying the same thing. I don't buy from Amazon if I have any other choice. That is basically where I'm at as well, Diane. I know there's controversies about how they treat their workers and stuff like that. So between that and just some really negative experiences on my part, and again, they literally take half of the money and they don't advertise the book, they don't do anything. So right now, the book is for sale on my website, Living the Dream. I got that added now. That's a cool new feature through StreamYard here. But the book is available there. And when you think about it, so far, all of the people that have bought the book are friends, family, people that do follow me on YouTube. So really, I'm the one that's doing the marketing and bringing them to that book. Amazon's not doing anything. It's just listed on their website. And because of that, they are taking half of my profits. So let me find this page here. I am not going to read a full chapter, but there is one snippet here. So, spoilers for anyone who hasn't read my book. Nate, I don't know how far you've gotten. Slight spoiler, but I've had 2 or 3 people that have messaged me and left reviews saying that this part of the book is a part they absolutely loved. So I wanted to share it and give a little bit of a sneak peek for those who are still on the edge of maybe I'll buy it. I don't know. Is it worth it? I'll give you a little bit of a taste of what my writing style is. So this chapter is about halfway through the book. At this point, I've talked about some of my adventures going out to Arizona for the first time. And a lot of people were asking me, why do I travel? Why did I decide to live the van life, the life of a nomad? At this point, I don't have Rocky. I am living out of my 2005 Dodge Caravan, so it's super super tiny, and I was loving it. So a lot of people were just constantly asking, why? And this chapter kind of highlights that. It's those hidden little treasures. That's what life is truly all about. Not one big thing, but a million little things. Moments like everyday sunsets, forgotten and overlooked. The beauty of the green leaves on the trees and the shape of the clouds in the bright blue sky. The smell of the cool, crisp air after a thunderstorm, and the smell of fresh food when hungry. The sounds of kids laughing and having fun, jazz as you walk down the stone streets of New Orleans with birds chirping in the distance, and music on the radio as you drive down the open highway, warm sunshine on your face. The feeling of hugging a loved one, reuniting with a friend after some time apart, and the crisp wind as you cruise with your window down. The sweet taste of an apple picked fresh off a tree, or a home cooked dinner made with love upon returning home from a long day. Perhaps a combination of these aspects as you watch the waves of the ocean come crashing down on you, and you smell and taste the saltiness of the ocean, while kids are laughing and screaming, running into the oncoming waves. The list truly goes on and on. It's not one big thing, it's a million little hidden treasures. And basically, that chapter was all about it's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey. I can't tell you how many times I am driving on a freeway, on a highway, and I accidentally take a wrong turn, or I just see a billboard and I'm like, you know what? That looks absolutely awesome. Let's forget the GPS for a second and let's just go. Or taking that wrong turn and finding something remarkable, like I was running away from a hurricane, basically, and I didn't know where to go, so I just started driving north. Next thing I know, I found a city with an amazing park, a pool, just some amazing opportunities that I never had planned. So I'm going to take a moment here because my book is all about discomfort and getting out of your comfort zone. And I know we don't have many people in the house currently, but for those that are in the house and for those who are rewatching, please comment down below. I am genuinely curious to see what your answer would be. So on the back of the book, through the summary here, I end it with a very important question that I often ask myself when I find myself, say, on top of the stratosphere in Las Vegas about to jump off. If you couldn't feel fear for a day, what would you do? If you had no fear in any way, shape, or form, what would you do? And I'll just give a second here. I see Diane questioned already, commented. Let's see. I tried to go to your store and my antivirus flagged it. Okay, good to know. I'll look into that a little bit. It is through Wix. That is what I made my website through. So I don't know if it's something because it's like not a brand name type, but I'll look into that later on today and see if I could maybe fix it. We did have a couple purchases. I've sold, I want to say 2 or 3 hoodies as well as a t-shirt and a digital copy of the book. I have not sold a physical copy through my website yet, but I do have actually an eBay account as well that I have yet to talk about, Diane. So I'm going to kind of segue into that. Everyone bear with me here. I'm still not the master of these live streams, but I will show you guys that, as that's actually part of the updates I wanted to share. So if you personally don't want to do my website, that is okay. Completely understand. But I do have this as well if you do eBay at all. So right now I have a couple collector's items that I have listed on here as well. Just different items that I've collected basically while traveling the country. I'm going to be doing some YouTube videos upcoming here because my bus cost me about $3,500 outright to buy the bus, not to renovate it, anything like that, but it cost me $3,500 to buy it outright. eBay is actually how I paid 100% of that bus. Now on this account, you could see I only have 2 feedback and 0% because it's actually my buying account. Normally I don't sell on this account. I have a second account on here, but give me a second. I'll bring this back up here. Bear with me. Still getting used to this new eBay thing. It's throwing me through a loop. It was never this complicated in the past. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see here, but we have some collector's items as well as my book. Hey, thank you for tuning in, Tim. Nice to see ya. Do I have a banner? Let's see. I know I have another one. Let me try these banners. I'm still practicing. There we go. For Diane and Tim. I'm learning. I'm not an expert, but I'm learning. So yeah, these, I do have the copy of my book here, as well as the reviews that were on Amazon for anyone that wants to go through and read through the reviews and just get some other people's opinions, because I completely understand. I'm the one that wrote the book. Obviously, I would want to, promote it as a good thing. But again, something I always strive with too on this channel, and a lot of people always ask, or they always say it's one of their favorite things, I try to be honest. So if there's problems, like I said, if you have a first edition of the book, there's a couple mistakes in there. I am not afraid to admit it. Live, learn, improve. That is part of living your best life. So I do have them on here, and if you do order it here, say for example, you wanted to do 2 books, maybe you have a family member or a friend and you want a book for yourself as well. The difference between my website and eBay is on my website, Wix won't let me do a discount at all. But as you buy more books here, you get a little bit of a discount on how many you buy, up to 4 copies. So if you buy 4 or more, $12 each versus 15 each. And yes, I've had people, hey, I just want to promote you. That's all I want to do. So can I pay the 15? I appreciate it, but again, it's just not about the money to me. It really isn't. I honestly need to focus more on the money if I want this to help me live on the road. But no matter what, as bad as I want to be on the road, the reason I started this YouTube channel, the reason I started writing the book, everything, no matter what, it's always going to be about making a positive impact and helping others. I just want to pull up this comment here because Nate's talking about the sunset, and I am totally jealous right now, Nate. There is nothing better than sitting back and seeing an Arizona sunset. I mean, never gets old to me, ever. I'm a sucker for those sunsets. And Tim's saying it started raining again 2 hours ago. That, I think, give me a second here. That is what I'm worried about here in Michigan, actually. Because we just went from negative, literally yesterday was negative 40 to 40 degrees, negative 40, to today being 26 degrees. So a 60-degree difference within 24 hours. We're supposed to get snow tonight into the morning. And then it looks like Monday it's going to be 35 degrees. Tuesday is 30. Wednesday is 40. So winter's kind of giving me a break here, knock on wood. I'm going to enjoy this warm weather. But there is one day that's calling for rain, and every single day at night it gets down to 20 degrees, which means that rain is instantly going to be freezing up here. And that is never fun to drive on, to scrape your vehicle off. I mean, the building, we had that about 2 weeks ago. It was leaking off the building, and there was about that much ice literally built up on the ground outside. Absolutely horrible. I'm sorry, Diane. It was me. It was me. You know, I escaped Upper Michigan in the cold, harsh weather for 2 years. And then it's like, hey, you're trapped here. So now everyone's going to suffer. Everyone's going to get bad weather all across the country. Except Nate. It's hot. I wish it was hot. I'll trade you, Nate, if you want. If you want, I'll gladly trade. Please let me know, or we could go halves even. You could go down half. I could give you. Yeah, we could work something out if you're willing, bud. That's the crazy part. It has been a crazy winter everywhere. I keep seeing that Dallas and just not the dog, Dallas and just Texas and everywhere is getting hit. It's been a horrible winter. And here we got, as of a couple days ago, for the season total, we're up to 130 inches. And I love it because every time I share how much snow we've gotten here, it seems like a lot of people are like, oh my God, 130, that's insane. That's actually a very, very, very mild winter. I've been lucky this winter. It has been very, very mild here. There was two really bad storms. One of them was luckily when I went to Las Vegas. So by the time I got back, it was like, okay, whatever. I missed out. Sweet. Couldn't have timed it better. The second one was during Christmas. And I'm not going to lie. Since Christmas, my Nomad boots have been itching bad. And I'm actually kind of trying to plan a trip right now. It looks like from Duluth, Minnesota to Phoenix, Arizona, it is, I think, 130 round trip in April, something along those lines. I haven't done Sedona yet. I was actually watching when Nate was there last year because I was excited and getting to learn more about it and I wanted to go there. So I'm kind of looking at that or maybe hiking in the Grand Canyon. But yeah, after that storm around Christmas time, I got itchy boots and negative 40-degree weather is definitely not helping with those itchy boots at all. But other than that, I appreciate it that it's been a very, very, very mild winter here because normally January and February, again, here we go, knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx it this month. Normally we get hit the hardest those months, and we've usually gotten around 200 inches of snow at this point or more. So it's significantly a mild winter compared to previous years. So I'm trying to think here based off the book, anything else I want to discuss. I did sign up. I posted a couple days ago. I think it was Debbie who commented that she was excited. I officially booked my first craft fair for this book. So we have a civic center here on campus, and for $30, it's on a Saturday that I don't work in the dorms. For $30, I get a 12 by 12 space booth, and I'm going to try to sell my book. And what I'm also going to do is I personally have 2 items of merch from my own store right now. I'm going to take both of those t-shirts and put them on display with a link to my website as well as a link to the YouTube channel. And I'm probably going to have like some of my shorter 10-minute videos playing in the background. So maybe I'll be able to promote the channel a little bit because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the year, I am really, really aiming for 1,000 subscribers this year. Like, do or die, I'm going for it. Very cool, Kobe. Thank you, Tim. I am excited for it. It's also, I said to one of the staff members here on campus, so far I've been promoting this book for 6 months to friends, family, and the YouTube channel. Thank you, Nate. And eventually, I'm not going to be able to find people that want to buy it anymore. Now, with the YouTube channel and everything, I want to keep getting more audience members, more subscribers, everything like that. But eventually, I got to be able to share that book in other ways and reach more audience members. And with the live streams, the shorts, I'm trying to just take it up a notch on YouTube here. I'm actually putting, I'm curious to see what my taxes look like this year. I have to go to an expert this year because I am way over my head this time. Since, basically I did this. This was my job. I was self-employed for 3 months, or 3 months, 9 months. I was self-employed for 9 months, and this is what I did. I look at it, and it's like, this is how much you got paid. This is how much you got made. last year through this job at the college, because this is the only official job I had. But when you think about the bus, when you think about how much money I've put into the YouTube channel, like I can tell you right now, the camera quality and everything, new phone $1,000, the bus about $10,000, the YouTube videos themselves, the editing software, all of that, a couple $100 there. I've started advertising my YouTube videos on occasion, couple $100 right there. So I have literally, when it's like you've made this much this year, I'm I am not even. I know for a fact I am in the negatives. If you look and take my expenses, and I have all the receipts for everything, the bus, when I broke down, everything. When you take all those receipts and add it up, and then look at how much money I got from the job here on campus, plus, selling on eBay, and I did have some Patreon donations and the book. But when you weigh those together, I am significantly in the negatives right now. So I am exactly, Diane. I am trying to do tax deductible business expenses. The YouTube channel is not at 1,000 subscribers yet. I got people that are supporting me, people that are buying the book, people at one point that were donating to my Patreon, everything like that. But I'm still in the negatives. The plan is this year to turn that around, to do the tax deductible business expenses, to grow the YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. Because this is the really cool part to me. Oh, okay. Congratulations, Ava, if you happen to be watching right now or watch in the future. That's my goal though, to get it up to 1,000 people, because there's just more potential there. When I was on the road this last 9 months, a lot of it was coming through eBay. And one month I might do really good. I might sell $2,000 worth on eBay. But then the next month I might only make 100, 200 if I'm lucky. Sometimes it's just hit or miss. And I don't want to rely on just that one source of income, because, as you all know, back in the summer, with inflation and everything, it was not working out well for me. So hopefully we could change all of that around and be able to, let's see what Tim's saying here. I have had small businesses in the past and was able to write off everything for the business. That makes me feel a little bit better. I'm nervous about it because I've never had to do it before. And this is a little bit different for what it is, because it's not like a physical thing. I don't physically make my t-shirts. I have a third party make them. I make the designs, but they are the ones that print the shirts and ship it out. And the book, I'm not the one that prints the book. I have someone print the book, but I'm the one that's selling the book. And it's a lot of different situations. Like with eBay, you don't need a business license, but it is part of my business. It's part of this business. And it's what helped me live on the road. So it was Ron Darrell's New Year resolution: push good people to 1,000. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is a good New Year's resolution. I am going to remember that in the future, Diane. Ron, if you happen to watch this in the future or rewatch it, whatever, if you're here right now, I'm going to steal that idea from you, because that is a really awesome idea. And when it comes to being a nomad, especially, it's all about the community and being able to help each other out and all that good stuff. I really, really like that New Year's resolution. And if you watched my previous video, that's coming from someone who said he doesn't do New Year's resolutions. So that tells you how good I like that one. I have to get better at documenting expenses for taxes myself. So as Tim said here, Excel spreadsheet, that seems to be the way to go, at least in my eyes. The past 2 years between, because I did do some, I've sold on eBay for years. That is nothing new to me. But it's also they're changing guidelines and stuff like that. So, but between school, eBay, stuff like that, that's what I used to do. I used to do an Excel spreadsheet, and actually, when I do, I know Nate, you don't do eBay here, but if you ever think about it, what I actually do is I'll take an item, say my book here, if it's worth $30 and I could get it for $10 for sake of example, I'll buy it for $10, and even though it sells for 30, I might sell it for 20, and then I'll create a spreadsheet specifically for that stuff too, saying like discomfort, paperback, bought for 10, sold for 30 or sold for 20, and then I'll do like profit of $10. Excel is a very, very helpful tool. When I was a senior in high school, I talk about that in my book again, so a little bit of a spoiler. But when I was a senior in high school, my family had a restaurant, and I ended up going out of my way. My dad didn't ask me to, he didn't even know about it. I just made an Excel spreadsheet. This is what we sell every day, this is the quantity, this is how much profit we've made, this is what we sell for, all that stuff. If you can get into Excel, very, very, very helpful tool. Ava was our first push. We worked our butts off. I believe it because I'm not even gonna lie. I I get discouraged sometimes because it's like sometimes the system, the analytics, and I'm sure some of you can probably even relate to this. It seems like sometimes you'll be in the system and you could do like a couple videos and they'll be doing decently, if not even great. But then you could do a similar video and then all of a sudden for some reason it's just absolutely garbage. It's just nothing. And that's, again, it gets discouraging on occasion, to me at least, because there's been times too where I'll take a 10-second video of like, hey, this is what I'm eating for dinner, upload it, 7,000 views, but then something that I'll literally spend hours upon hours, days editing, maybe gets 20. And I get it, shorter videos, more likely to be seen by more people, stuff like that. But then there's other times too where it's like I'll share a video, gets no views, and then I'll share the same video a second time, and all of a sudden it's in the thousands. So I don't know, it's still trying to get the analytics and the system down. It's even it's weird. The thing that really bugs me is that I have a associate's degree in business, and I'm not trying to like brag about that or boost myself, but what bothers me with it is we were taught marketing. And I used to grow Facebook groups and stuff like this. Like I have a Facebook group that was once 70,000 members, but we had partnerships with other relative or groups that related to us. So our overall outreach was like 3.5 million people. Like that's something I've done. And then I look at this and I'm like, man, lots of people are like, it takes 1 to 2 years. And if you don't make it after 2 years, you're never going to make it on YouTube. And I don't know. Again, that's not why I did it. I wanted to look back and be able to see like my adventures and just kind of share with friends and family, but meeting you guys and being able to share with others and help inspire people and just like that's it too. But definitely, I don't know, the fact that it's my business and in my eyes the only way I'm going to get back on the road and live the life I want to live is if I build this business and have income coming in, and that just some days that really hits me, and it's difficult. Work their butts off. Absolutely. Day in and day out. Day in and day out. Nate says the least effort gets pushed far more than the hard-working ones. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And that's again, it's a different level of frustrating to me on occasion because it is my business, and if I want to get back on the road, this is my way of doing it. Now, I know people like Nate, you've discussed it before. You have a job over the computer, and I'm not ruling that out. I would love to have a job over the computer, but I've already tried that boat and it didn't really work out for me. Maybe that's something I can get my foot in after this job with my experiences and whatnot. But it really, right now, there's days where it's just like, the only thing that's holding me back from being on the road right now is the fact that I'm not doing good enough on YouTube, that I'm not doing good enough on the business. But I got to remind myself, it takes time to build a business. You could go years, like 2, 3 years. You got to put money in, you got to put time in. And when I was living on the road, I was living off of $1,000 every 6 months, basically. So when you're living off of $1,000 every 6 months, you really don't have a couple hundred, let alone a couple $1,000 to just throw at your business to help it improve. And that's one thing I'm really, really, really thankful for with this job. I am actually, exciting update here, I'm actually going to be buying a drone, because the last time I was in Arizona, I brought my drone, but it is one of the first models of a drone ever. So significantly outdated. And you could really tell the camera quality was horrible. It was hard. Like, it didn't really even like to fly anymore. Sometimes it wouldn't come off the ground. When it did, sometimes it would just have control of itself. So it would go flying off in the desert, and I'd have to go hike and try to find it, hope that it wasn't broken. So I'm actually going to be I'm going to be updating and buying a new drone, and it's going to be a very high-end one. It's like one of those DJIs that cost like $1,000, but I love drones, and the quality cameras and just the videos you can make is, oh my god, just amazing, amazing. So I can't wait for that. Tim says, I plan on posting more this year since I have more vacation hours from the new company. Okay, congrats on that, Tim. Look forward to see what you have. It's always an adventure in my eyes. I'm always like, I got these vacation hours, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do. So yeah, Diane, that's the downfall. The old drone, since it was so outdated, I didn't have to be licensed in any way, shape, or form with anything. But to buy one of these, there's all kinds of different things, like talking about me posting things on YouTube. I was actually working on a custom song for Rocky. I was dedicating a song to Rocky and our adventures. And I was like, now wouldn't it be really cool to make that song and then have like a somewhat professional, because there's some services out there, have like a really good singer sing it and post a music video using videos and photos of me and Rocky traveling, post a video of it on YouTube. Nope, you need a commercial business license. And there's certain things where it's like, do I want to spend the $1,000 here? Or do I want to spend it here? I don't know. It's just part of owning a business. You got to be able to decide what you think is worth spending your money and time on. Speaking of which, I what was I going? I got I got distracted here. I got a text message from my sister, so I apologize for that. Um, what I was gonna say is TikTok. I've the past 3 months I have been doing coaching. Someone has been coaching me on growing my business and everything. So over the past month, I've been posting 2 videos every single day on TikTok. I've given up on that. I've quit TikTok. I understand, like, if you get one video and it blows up, like, but the amount of time and work and effort I have to put in those TikToks, it is not paying off at all. It's not worth it at all. And I told my coach that, and I explained the analytics and the numbers to him, and he agreed. Just it's not worth posting 2 videos every day like I was. I have to figure something out here. I have a DJI Mavic Pro Platinum that I can't fly because I'm not licensed and it hurts my neck injury if I look up. Willing to let it go for 600. It has a waterproof case and 3 batteries. Tim, I will give me a second here because I will take you up on that a little bit actually. I'm surprised I don't have this already on here as a banner. Give me a second to add this. If you can, send me an email, Tim, and we could try to work something out because that is actually Nate. Make it 500. Normally I would kind of try to do something like that. I would negotiate, especially again, it's a business. I should probably focus a little more on doing that, but I appreciate Tim giving me the offer in general. Diane saying 450. If if Tim agrees to you guys, just keep bringing it down a little bit for me, please. But no, Tim, if you're willing, I would do the full 600 because I think that is actually the one I was looking at spending, and I, if if it's like you can't fly it because you don't have a license and it hurts your neck because of your injury and stuff, like I'm willing to do the asking 600 for it because I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pretty sure that's the one I wanted, and it's expensive. So let's see here. Yeah, it looks like that's the one I wanted. So if you could give me an email, we'll try to work something out here. I would definitely be interested. Oh boy. Let's see what Nate's saying. There was a kid that tried to sell me a really cool rock at schoolie. I told him I had no money on me, but gave him the advice if he wanted 30 for it to start asking for 50. Apparently, a bunch of people heard me give that advice and were cracking up. No, that is solid advice. That is solid advice because I'm not gonna lie, I have a soft spot, really. It's weird because this is my first official business, but I have a soft spot where all this stuff where you want 30s, ask at 50. Like anything else outside of my business, I do that because people are going to they're going to if you're asking 50 in my eyes, people are always going to make an offer no matter what. I mean, I think part of it is just being up here in Upper Michigan. That is how it is up here. But I always start a little bit higher than what I want. Um, but yeah, doing stuff like that, or you're negotiating. You want 600? Would you take 500? No, okay. Can we meet in the middle for 550? Is what I always kind of do. I don't know what it is. You would think since this is my first official business, I would be perfecting those skills that I've had for years. Like growing up, my dad used to go to card shows for sports, like trading cards, and me and him would go, and we would basically like negotiate and do this kind of stuff. So I've been doing that kind of stuff for years, and it's so weird because when it comes to the business, it just poof. I don't even think about it. It's just gone, and then I end up spending more than I need to. And but no, with Tim, I definitely because him not being able to use it, I'm fine with that. So not a problem at all. Definitely saves me some money, and I could actually take the money that it saves me and probably buy a license because I don't know how expensive that is yet. And yeah, I got to figure all that out. Flown less than 10 times and can send me pictures. Appreciate it, Tim. Got me excited because I've been looking at these things for months, like 3, 4 months now. My uncle that was in Arizona with me said to check them out. And I was like, how does he know what a drone is? And like a brand, I was surprised that he knew an exact brand. And I looked up and wow, the quality is just amazing. The Platinum is no longer in production. Maverick 3 is the new drone. Okay, maybe that's the one I was looking at. I don't know. It was one of them. When you go on their website, it's one of them that's at like $1,000, and it has the screen on the controller. Um, it's a pain. Amazon for a chicken coop. That is not a bad idea at this point, Diane. If we are talking finances on this stream tonight, let's take a moment here to discuss how expensive eggs are. Invest in a chicken coop, sell your eggs. That is good quality business right there. Ron was having problems with going everywhere. Yeah. So, what else was I going to talk about tonight here? 52 minutes in already, so I'm like, wow. Normally I'm struggling to make half an hour, and even then I'm kind of like ending it early. You want to come up? You're up over here again. So, what you doing, buddy? You want to say hi to camera? Yeah, I don't have a good enough setup now that the Christmas tree is in the way, and you keep knocking over my Yellowstone coin, my special coin. You're gonna end up breaking it. Let's see what I've accomplished recently. Oh, another thing with the book, I did donate a copy to the library here on the college campus. And outside of that, I am working on recruiting. So this last Monday, I went to Minneapolis and we've been like doing college fairs, stuff like that. And it's been interesting. It kind of gives me a taste of being on the road and taking these trips again. I'm curious, Diane, what was happening with with the stories I've heard about Ron. I don't know what to expect. It's a good thing that you got it figured out, though. Oh, Tim's got something here too. It costs roughly $160 to get a drone license. This is the test fee cost, and it goes directly to the testing center. So Tim, I've looked a little bit into the licensing a little bit, but I don't know for sure here. The testing center, when we go to get this license, basically, this can't be done like anywhere, right? I don't know if that's something you do know. I'm still trying to learn everything behind it because my one concern with the licensing is like, okay, the price is not bad, but being in Upper Michigan, usually you have to drive 2 to 4 hours for anything. So I'm worried that if it's like, no, you have to come to a certain location, it's going to be like, okay, when can I take a trip, a 4-hour road trip and bring Rocky and all this stuff? That's the one thing that scares me about the license. He is raising quail for eggs and meat. He's allergic to chicken eggs, but so far no issue. Okay. Okay. That's good. I don't know what it is with me either. I mean, dairy in general, I'm really not great with. But yeah, eggs in particular, because it's not really dairy, but eggs, I stick away from eggs because I get sick usually off of eggs as well. You do have to go to a certain location. That's what scares me. I'm gonna have to do a little more research because I bet you anything it's gonna be like 2 to 4 hours away from me. So you're looking at a giant road trip, which I don't mind. I'm the nomad. I was the nomad, but in the winter with a vehicle that is not made for long trips, it's especially in negative 30, 40-degree weather, it scares me a little bit, but it might be a summer thing even. Just hold off for another month or two. I don't really think I have anything in the next month or two that I'll shoot with the drone for YouTube here. It's kind of hard since I'm not on the road. It's like not as much. I mean, Upper Michigan, I gotta start doing more on Upper Michigan, but what else do I have on the objectives for tonight? Okay, the updates on the paranormal, because I haven't talked about that in a while. So, for those who watched the live stream a couple weeks ago, I talked a lot about, let me get rid of this banner here. I talked a lot about some experiences that I've been having since staying in the haunted museum, or not in the haunted museum, the haunted hotel, and visiting the haunted museum. So I talked about all these weird things like my shower turning on by itself, how Rocky was reacting. I shared that video a couple times with Rocky on the bed and the orb kind of drifting out of the room. And if you saw, I think about 2 weeks ago now, I shared a video on the Apache Hotel where we spent the night. And in that video, I vaguely discussed how I brought everything to my office, and 2 days later, I ended up seeing a figure in the hallway outside of my office. So, I am really happy to say that since then, after seeing that figure, nothing else has happened. Everything has been normal. Knock on wood, again, because I don't want to go back to how things were. But it's also kind of making me reconsider everything because it's like, if something else was causing it, if there was a pressure built up or something, it's like, why did it stop doing it as soon as I brought everything to my office? No, as soon as I brought all of the items, everything, as soon as I brought everything from the hotel and the museum to my office, outside of that figure, like 2 days afterwards, everything has been normal. Rocky has been acting normal. I haven't had the shower turn on by itself. The thermostat hasn't been adjusting by itself. It's really nice actually. I don't feel like I'm being watched. I don't get I mentioned on live streams, yes, Diane, I'm glad you tuned in tonight because I was thinking about you when I was taking notes on all this. I did tell it to leave too, so I think hopefully that helped because I told it to leave, brought everything to my office, and 2 days later I saw a figure outside the hallway or in the hallway outside my office. But outside of that, everything else has been normal. So it's kind of like, okay, that's good. I did a video on the Apache Hotel. Everybody liked it. I'm going to be doing some special videos, and I might even do, I think I'm probably going to do one just special video in general, and it's going to be treated like a live stream, but it is going to be on the haunted hotel that I also visited that day. I haven't shared a video on that place yet from my vacation, and I know a lot of people love my haunted videos. And now that everything's calmed down here, I feel a little bit more comfortable watching and researching the information. But I gotta say, too, I posted a couple days ago, watching paranormal shows now is a whole nother level. Like, seeing people that are explaining, like, I couldn't believe my eyes, I felt like I was going insane. In the past, I might have just laughed when someone said that and kind of doubted it, like, yeah, this guy's probably a paid actor, he's making it up. Now I watch these videos and I'm like, no, I know what they mean, like, I can relate to that. It is so bizarre watching these paranormal shows. Diane, yes, now you know how real it is. In the past, I would watch these paranormal shows and it was like, are they making it up? Is there something to it? I don't know. And now when something happens, I'm like, oh my God, because I know how real it is. And I know what it's like to be on the other end of a spirit that is toying with you and causing fear and causing headaches and chills and nausea. And I gotta say, today I I was researching the haunted museum because when we went there back in November, I didn't know any information on the haunted museum at all. I just knew that it was Zach Bagans who was the creator and head investigator to Ghost Adventures. So it already kind of fit because I've done a couple Ghost Adventure locations, and my aunt had heard about it. A couple people we know actually heard about it, and they all were excited and said we should go. So that's kind of where it came from. I didn't know the history or anything. I didn't even really know the items in there. I didn't know the history of the items at all, the facts on people, nothing until I got to the museum. And then I learned some fascinating things while I was there and I made notes. Well, now I literally spent, I think, I don't even know because it was pretty much, I don't know how many hours, basically all day from the moment I woke up until the live stream. I was watching videos and reading articles on the haunted museum, but also several of the very extreme items that are in the museum. For example, I don't want to give too much spoilers here because I'm really excited and I feel like I could really make this a good YouTube video and make it a very special YouTube video. But for anyone who's watched the movie The Conjuring 3 is actually based off of the Devil's Rocking Chair and a child being possessed, as well as someone else who ended up murdering somebody. But I'll talk more about that story. But basically, the rocking chair that's affiliated with that story is in the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum. And we got to see it. But not only that, as VIP members, we were literally like in arm's reach of the chair. It was just and a glass, me and glass separating the chair. Just a thin layer of glass between me and the chair. So lots of people have heard about The Conjuring, and I'll share that information with you. But even that is really like just the tip of the iceberg. I think I wrote down 6 pages worth of information and just kind of formatting the story and how I want to share it in my video, because there's also something else. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to leave it for the video. But there's something else that I can't I can't really show a picture of it on the YouTube channel because it is known to affect people that even look at it through a computer or a cell phone. So, trying to figure out all the logistics because I do believe they are real and that they are dangerous. And now that I know how real it was, rewatching and learning new information about the haunted museum and the items within it, if you're someone who does believe and like, or if you don't believe but you've been watching my last couple videos and you're starting to kind of debate about it, this video on the haunted museum, this special video is absolutely gonna make you shake your head. You're gonna be like, Kobe, what the hell were you thinking? And it's because I didn't know any of this stuff, but it's also because I didn't think any of it was necessarily real. I didn't know for sure. Now I do, and it's completely flipped the world upside down. I will see if I can find the video from the night we were attacked. The video from that night will scare the poop out of you. I believe it, Diane. I mean, just watching some of these shows now scares me. Right now, I won't watch anymore. Like, I researched all day and I would love to get going and start editing the YouTube video and doing more work with it. And because I'm so excited about this video. It's one of those really big videos again. Every couple months, it seems like I have a video I'm really, really, really excited for. And this is that one. I absolutely can't wait, but it's also like, nope, it's dark outside now, it's late at night, I am not messing with it. I don't want to hear anything about what I experienced or how it's connected, because there's other things that me and my aunt experienced while we were at the museum. And at the time we were just kind of like, you had this or you experienced this and I didn't. And then all of a sudden it's like you watch these videos or you read articles and you listen to other people who have been at the museum and they've experienced the same thing coincidentally. And it's like, okay, now that I believe it's it's a whole new level of fear. It really, really is. So, ooh, let's see. I see the comic. Give me a second, Diane. It's taking a while to pop on over here. We captured the hellhound sounds demonstrated materializing, cameras flying, our lead investigator getting knocked over, and another with bloody handprints on her shoulder. And it's stuff like that. I can't lie, I did go back to my office last week since I hadn't experienced anything yet, and I tried the spirit box one more time in my office. I didn't bring it over to my suite because I refused to do that. But I didn't experience anything in my office, but I'm also taking it a lot more seriously now because of stuff like that, because now I do believe and I know firsthand how real it is and how crazy it can get. She was. She was. I was surprised to learn about that. Yeah, Diane. I don't know. It's calm, so it's like, oh, part of me is like, you're stupid. You're gonna provoke them again. But then the other part of me is like, okay, can I please capture this on video? Because I still feel like I'm crazy. I'm glad that like you and Tim um believe, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, I'm crazy. I am absolutely crazy. Like I still don't believe my eyes. The fact that I saw a figure, um, if it just seems so fake to me, and it's like the fact that I feel that way when I talk about it. It's like I gotta sound crazy to people who don't believe, but you know, just part of the adventures. And I always try to be honest and just share my experiences. So if some people don't believe and they want to call me crazy, I mean, I can't deny I'm crazy. I've jumped off of a building and jumped off jumped out of a perfectly good airplane, so I'm definitely crazy. But so I see I've been live now for an hour and 10 minutes here. I got to get a movie started in 5 minutes for the dorms tonight. I'm actually on shift. Normally I don't even go this long, so I'm actually really amazed that we've made it this far. But thank you guys for all tuning in tonight. I just wanted to share some updates and I won't even jump out of a plane. Yeah, I did. I did. I jump out of a plane. I talk to spirits, all that crazy stuff. Like as I like to say, part of it's stupidity, part of it's bravery. Have a good night, Tim. Have a good night, Nate, Diane, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and keep your eyes peeled. I'm hoping maybe within the next week I'll get that haunted museum video out. So have a good night, everyone. And as always, stay safe. I'll see you all on the next adventure.